Guys, it's a boot. How cute is this, right? It's a foam boot, and we're gonna turn it into a really cute craft, okay? I'm Vicky from the Purple Penguin Crafter. Let's jump in and get started. I've got these little foam boots. I believe I got them from Temu, but search foam boots. You can find anything you want, or you could always make your own boot. Stay tuned for some videos later, probably closer to Christmas. I'll have some boot videos. I'm going to be making boots out of different things. So stay tuned for that. We're going to use this oval that I cut myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a little over 5 inches, long ways. But that again, that's just my preference because I like to get my. But you can always find ovals everywhere. They usually have the decorative trim on them. I'm not really super fancy like that. I like mine a little more rustic. So that's just my personal preference. But we're gonna stain it. Got the Waverly wax or antique wax. Sorry, Waverly antique wax here. We got our gloves, baby wipe, and we are just going to rub it on and let it dry. Right, I've got that stained look. I'd love the darker. It is a little darker than it's going to be because it's still wet, because you use a damp cloth to wipe it off. So it will dry a little lighter than that, but that's okay. We'll let that dry. Now we've got our little boots, and I want to go ahead and paint the little boots because I want a good surface to be able to glue our little boot onto our wood. I'm not going to paint the bottom. I'm going to paint the trim around this bottom of this boot, but I'm not going to completely paint the bottom because I do want a good surface to be able for the glue to attach to my base. So just a heads up on that. I decided I am going to use the chalk paint, and this is the color ink. I just figured being a smooth surface, we're gonna go with the chalk paint on this. And we're gonna do the entire thing. Now that my boot is black, we're gonna let that finish drying for a minute. We'll go back to our wood piece. Want to go ahead. I've got this ribbon. It's got red and black checker with snowflakes on it. I love that. And I figured that would be a great decoration piece for my base. So we are going to do that with the base. And we're just going to put it on with our good old tacky glue. Use good old tacky glue. I'm going to start at the end because this is an oval piece. I'm going to start at the end, just because I feel like then you might be able to still see the item from this way and this way, and the ends are going to be kind of something you're not going to generally look at. So it might be a little easier to put the end pieces on the end, or the skinnier part of the oval, I guess is what we'll call it. Sure, it's cut straight. Right. That way we got that all the way around. That way we're not messing with this, trying to get stuff on this when we have the boot on top. So that's going to be good. It's going to work out. So right now my boot, like I said, is still drying because it is the foam. It's going to take a while to dry on there because I don't want to use a heat tool or a blow dryer or anything because I don't want to melt it. So I'm going to just, since we also want it to dry on our project, and I don't want to use hot glue on this either, so we're just going to do the tacky glue on this right now and just stick it on. And that way it can dry at the same time as the top. In fact, most of it is pretty much dry. It's just in places that it's not that bad. We're looking good. We're looking good. I kind of want to decorate the top of this. I mean, we're gonna decorate more up here, but around the top, I've got this, and It's wired ribbon. It's kind of like a fuzzy wire. Um, I don't know if you can see it real well in the camera, but you can see how it's fuzzy. I absolutely love this. You get it around Christmas time. I got it at Hobby Lobby. Um, and I definitely plan on trying to get more. Um, every year you got to get it fast because it runs out. You got to get it fast. I felt like this is too thick because it is, does it say, it says 7/8. So it is pretty wide, and I'm not a huge, I mean, I could totally do that. I feel like that's just a little too wide. I had another project where I only wanted half of it, and so I cut a strand in half, and then I saved the other half, and I was just gonna do the half. And I took out the wire too because there was a wire in it, and once you can see this got a little wire, but it's really easy to pull the wire out when you don't need it. But otherwise, I kind of like the wire in it a lot of the time because it helps hold it in place sometimes. So that's actually not necessarily a bad thing sometimes. And then it gives a fuzzy look to the top of our boot. Kind of like that. Kind of like that style. A little bit here. Okay, let's decorate the bottom, right? Let's decorate around our boot. And for that, I've got all these little these are Jenga blocks. I already pre-painted some Jenga blocks. These just a red and a yellow. This one I took floss, red floss, and I glued for its own little bow. This one is just another little mini bow that I glued on that one. And then, Dollar Tree has these. Um, Other places have the little wood blocks, the little mini wood blocks, and these are they're a little bit bigger than a half inch. I believe they're almost 3/4 of an inch, but not quite. They're in between half and 3/4. But I went ahead and painted a few of these. Um, this one, I was hoping that's gonna stand up like that. How cute is that? Right? Um, there's this little silver cord that I got, I believe from Michael's. But decorate how you want them to be decorated. I was kind of also debating. I've got my Posca pens. I was gonna put some lines or something on these little boxes. Remember, they are supposed to be like presents. So I was hoping that using my Posca pens would work, but you could totally decorate these however you want. Just get some. Now we're gonna put our blocks, our presents, on our boot here, and so I was kind of playing with this, and I was kind of thinking, what if we did 3 of them up front here? We put this little red guy. Oh, the red present on top there. And we do these in the back of them. I also want to I have a little snowman. So these are the little wood snowmans. And I went ahead and I already painted one with the top hat black already. I did not paint his bottom, so he is just wood colored, but I kind of like the wood color look because it looks really good up against the black boot. So well done. I like that. That's super cute. Um, Now time for the top. Time for the top. And I'm going to use either I've got this bottle brush tree or this one. I'm kind of leaning towards this one. They're both from Dollar Tree. I got them, I believe 2023 or 24 is when I got them. So that's kind of what it's gonna look like that. I like that. However, you're probably gonna see all the black from the in the boot. So I'm kind of thinking what we're gonna do is put some fluff down. So we put some polyfill down, so that you can't really see that much of the black. and we'll just glue it on down. I mean, you're going to be able to see some of it, but I think it'll be okay. If we need to, we can add more later. So, obviously, I don't want to put this wood piece on. So we're just going to take our wire cutters and I'm going to cut right up against the wood piece because I want that uh, trunk on our tree so that we can poke it into um, our foam because that's going to hold it in there. So we'll just put some glue on it. For decorating this up like a Christmas tree, I've got this ribbon. It's just decorative, 9 feet of decorative. It's kind of fuzzy, and I like that because we could use that as the garland, right? And I kind of liked silver look. And what I like about these bottle brush trees is they will grab it, which is kind of nice. You don't have to glue it on. They will actually will just kind of grab it and hang it on. And then, you can change it out if you decide you find something that you like a little bit better. Not a big deal. You can go back and play with it and all the things. But it looks cute like that. Um, for the star at the top, I have some rusty bells, but I don't feel like using them. But I have these. They're the little bows from Dollar Tree or from Hobby Lobby, and they've got the pipe cleaner on the back, so you can just do whatever. I folded it back into itself, and I'm thinking just putting it up here on the top of my tree as my tree topper, which looks adorable. But I was kind of thinking we need two because you can see this side of the tree. And so I'm kind of thinking I got a second one out. So we're just gonna do the same thing on this side. Perfect. So now it's kind of again from the front looks a little, but from each side it looks good. Looks really good, and I'm really happy with the way that looks. So those are the last finishing touches that I'm going to do on this. I absolutely love this. It's really cute, simple, rustic, with Christmas tree coming out of Santa's boot. You could get really creative with Santa's boot, and you can make it shiny. I like it dull. If you can find a little belt buckle to put on it, that would be super cute as well. The gifts, I like having the gifts around, but you could do something totally different around the bottom if you wanted to do like maybe big ornaments or something around the bottom, like the ornaments fell off the tree. Could totally do that. I love my little snowman. Um, this is just my idea. Take it and run with it. And let me know how yours turns out. All right, you guys, keep on coming back. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to all the things so you can see more videos. And try this out and let me know how it goes. Happy crafting.